Well, hello and welcome everybody along to Tier 2. This is 2S Season X. This is the Dutch Grand Prix, and I am the Biggles. Hello and welcome. There's no Strix with me today. It's just myself solo along here in Zandvoort on the Dutch coast. Welcome to this exciting championship as we're getting right into it, actually. Welcome everybody in the Twitch chat. It's the YouTube chat. Pre-race hypes there's from Strix. Well, I think we got a little bit of time to go over the standings there for a second there. There's the driver standings currently at the moment from the last race of Belgium, which will be around 9. And it looks like Alexander is still in the lead of this championship, although I am missing some of the actual graphics there for the actual... Well, let me just shrink that there for a second. My apologies about that one, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Did not do my homework first so that we can actually see what the points are. There they are. Currently at the moment, leading the championship by a small margin, 12.5 points there. Owen is catching there with his recent win because there was a no start there from Alexander. And of course, you then have Lava that did not finish that last race. So there's good championship battle up for grabs there. They go over to the constructor standings currently at the moment. Red Bull leading that one just a little bit over Williams. And the Alfa Romeo is looming in the background. Everybody's going to get ready down there for the qualifying session. And, well, as we expect on the Dutch coast, let's go down to the track and let's have a look at how it is panning out. And there it is. You can see the weather is looking a little bit Dutch coasty, as you'd kind of expect. Like me get the audio sorted out as well. Just testing some new stuff out there. Yep, g'day everybody. I don't know, my microphone levels are jumping all over the place. Let me just try to lower it a little bit. Let us know in the chat world out there if it is sounding good or not. As the drivers are going to go out what appears to be on the Inter tyres. So they're pretty comfortable at the moment. We got all the goodies for you anyway, so let's pull up, I guess. Let's have a look at the weather forecast to see how that's going to work out for the actual session. Indeed, as it is. There's the forecast that's showing. So currently at the moment you can see it's into rain. Sort of light rain. Forecast for about 10 minutes or so is showing that it will continue to be the classic Dutch weather, the Strix says out there. But then we could see, this is a 16-minute qualifying session, remember, ladies and gentlemen. We could possibly see a little bit of dry weather towards the end of the race. So I wonder if these guys are going to get a little bit of wet weather times in first, as we're watching Futuristic out there on his hot lap. Just getting used to these conditions. You never know what's going to happen as well when you're out there. If it does dry up or not, they're not 100% sure. You can rely on Jeff. But for now, that's the weather forecast, so we'll keep an eye on that one. We'll go back to that later, as we're going to see one of these drivers do a hot lap. I think very much he's not the first one, but we're already stuck with Futuristic, so let's stick with Futuristic for a little bit. We got some more fancy graphics. G'day everybody as well out there. Seeing I'm solo, I'm going to rely on you guys to chat with me. Keep me occupied up into the box, into the booth. I'm actually quite warm up here, so that's quite good for me. Let's go, hot lap graphics, here we go. And there's an out lap, and he's about to start the hot lap, and this is a new feature that we have here at 2S Racing League. As you can see, currently going through the first couple of corners, through Tarzan, actually down into Glock. Sorry, I'm not very good at pronouncing these names. My Dutch isn't very good. Banking corner here into turn 3. You can get this one right, get on the power early, coming down to turn 4. A little bit of a kink in here. That's it right there. You got to spot the apex and get ready for a little bit of a lift. No lifting there for 5. And then 6 here. We'll down a couple of gears, really maximising the track there. Go out wide and then down into the Marlboro Brock. No cigarette advertising anymore, but they're still doing it. Renault Block right here, turn 8. And then climbing your way, kind of a little bit up a hill, bit of a banking here into Vodafone. Turn 9. What's he up in the sectors currently at the moment? Well, obviously he's going to set a personal best. He hasn't set the purple, but purples will actually go to that driver a little bit up the road. But for now, we're going to focus on this man. Turn 11's a tight one you can get right or wrong. In this case, he got it pretty good. And to Kummel Blocks, and then the Leven Blocks. And then down the main straight right now, as Sensei has definitely done it. And Futuristic would get that P2. 120.5 is the target. Well, 120.3 is the target currently in the moment. 2/10 off for some of the times are starting to come down right now. Go down to P12. Let's have a look at Alexander. He's back, man leading the championship in the Williams. Can't be afford to missing too many more rounds this season. You want to be keeping your championship, and you can see right there currently he has a purple sector on the hot lap graphic that's right up there. So first sector was a personal best, but not a purple. Second one's a personal best. You can see there, fastest lap that he needs to beat is a 1:20.031. What can this man do? Is he banks his way around the final corner, down the main straight. Will he steal that one away from Lavi? Yes, he does, and he steals it away by a margin too. 18s he's in. Absolutely blisteringly pace. Good pace there right now. Oop. And I'm just trying to go to a driver. It's Ocean Chief currently at the moment. As you can see, sorry, it keeps changing all over the place at the moment because all the drivers are putting their hot laps in. This man currently I wanted to go to, which is Bindi Vinky. And that's Bindi Vinky right there, as you can see, set the fastest lap. So the laps times are coming in, which also indicates to me that the track might actually be getting a little bit better currently at the moment. And welcome everybody along. So this is definitely far more entertaining than watching the esports. And if you are watching the esports, what are you doing? To watch 2S. You can actually compete in this league. I think Ocean Chief's is on a cool down lap right now. Well, one man that's on a fast lap is this man. So Binky Winky going even quicker again on his second lap. You can do a couple of laps, obviously, in these tyres. They're very durable, and you can see right there, he's got a purple sector 1. And he needs to beat, as you can see, the fastest middle sector here is a 54.8. So if he beats that 54.8, he's looking good. 52 right now. You can see, climbing up. 50. He's dropped a little bit of time. You can see 0.2 to that middle sector. He can make it up, perhaps, in the third. As he's approaching the final couple of corners. Turn 12 right here. And then around to turn 13. This big sweeping banking up into 6th gear. Oh, and there's a spin. And that's a little bit too much pedal to the metal, I'd say, coming out of that corner. And he's lucky he didn't bend it completely into the wall. Certainly if the track's going to start drying up a little bit. And that's his lap done. Danny and Owen, I wonder if they're... Well, Danny's just got past his teammate of Owen. But we can go up to Alexander at the moment because Alexander is now putting in his hot lap time and he's got the fastest first sector. Exactly, it's been Lada from Dragon, but he's lucky to save it. Oh, you can see it is tricky as Alexander is really pushing it. Let's see what he can do for his middle sector here. As he's 52, you can see that 52 point. Oh, once again, he's down. He's actually says he's down on his personal best, but it is good compared to the times. 23 seconds, 23 milliseconds really off the provisional pole currently at the moment. Now just for final sector here, you can see the spray start to ease a little bit. We'll check the weather report in a second. This could very much be provisional pole. He has shaved half a second. And there it is. Pretty impressive, you must say. From the driver, from the Swedish driver actually, so he should be used to this weather, of course. This would be very well, little warmer per se on the coastline currently at the moment. Please let me know if the levels are good out there, guys. I'm having some microphone issues recently. Let's go down to currently at the moment Sensei in the Haas, just ahead of his teammate Lavi, who's out on a hot lap. What's the Mr. Sensei? Wami. He will improve, but not that much actually. I'm quite sure. He's still got a sector to go here. I'm a little jumping the gun here. No, he has done his sector. I think that's the first bankers in. Let's go back to that weather forecast and see how that's panning out. Still showing currently at the moment that we're looking some more rain, so we might not get any dry conditions towards the end of this session. However, we might get, obviously, the track getting a little bit more grippy, no doubt. So for now, we'll just have to deal with that. The drivers will just have to deal with probably perhaps full inter conditions. Race forecast is looking like it's going to be overcast with a chance of rain. So we'll see about that. Some of the drivers have still put some times in. Let's have a look at Danny as he crosses the line, only up into P13. Another driver down there, Tranquillo, the Ferrari driver. He's coming around the final couple of corners to see what his first time will be this evening. You can see he's got personal bests up there, but he's going to be a little bit off the bubble here for the pace. He needs 18.4. He's 2.2 seconds there off the bubble. But that's his first lap. Will he commit to a second one? He's got the fuel. And just see how he handles this first sector. Fastest first sector you need to get is a 27 point. Oh no, he's just gone completely off the track there. Just to let somebody through, so he's not giving. He's given up on that one. We'll go over to Mr. Danny, who's committed to a second lap there for the Red Bull. You can see he's up on his personal bests. He needs a 54. He's 1.2 off, so whether or not he's going to commit to this lap will go again. That'll be Mr. Irish man, Mr. Danny. Well, that's the flag that's showing anyway. Quite sure if he's going to be... He's up on a personal best again. He needs an 18.4 for a fastest time around here currently at the moment that Mr. Alexander is set. He'll cross the line and he'll skin himself up at a P9, but it's not quite where Danny wants to be. Oh, Danny boy. Oh, Danny boy. I had to do it. McLaren driver currently at the moment of George Ionides. I'm probably the only person apparently I've been heard that actually pronounces his name correctly, where I destroy all the other drivers' names. I don't know where I get that one. Binky goes even quicker again, and I didn't even catch that one. 35 thousandths of a second off Alexander's time. I don't think the McLaren driver of George is going to be able to do too much about that, or Jose if you are saying George in Espanol. But he's certainly not from Spain. I'm not quite sure where he's from. His flag doesn't indicate. Let's have a look at his final time here this evening. Well, not final, but his final time on the 8th day. He's just off the bubble there, 1 second. Probably take that one for now. Some of the other drivers are starting to perform their hot laps. I think we'll go down to P7 at the moment of Mr. Snell. We know Snell's been quite good recently in the performance in this league and his performance during the qualifying session as well. But I mean, keep an eye on Owen, I'd have to say. We'll switch back up to him because he's set the fastest middle sector. It's about to cross the line right now, whereas Owen jumped all the way to the top of the timesheets for 46 thousandths of a second quicker than everybody else. He'd be pretty happy with that one for now. Go back to Snelly. Where's Snelly going to cross the line and will really improve on his time? He will definitely improve his personal bests, but not quite enough. You can see he's about 1 second off the bubble in these conditions currently at the moment. Still have 6 minutes and change to go for the qualifying session. Surprisingly, a lot of drivers keeping this car on the track in these tricky conditions. Very impressive. They are some of the best drivers in the world, so you would kind of expect them to perform this way. A lot of these drivers obviously live in Europe as well, so they are used to these conditions. Well, I think we got to see Mr. Alexander now is the man leading the championship. Well, he's now on a flyer again for Williams. As you can see, fastest first sector. So the Swedish driver is really loving these conditions, as I mentioned. Probably very similar it is back in Sweden. Minus the snow, of course. There's Tilde getting completely out of his way. Look at that. Fastest middle sector as well. He's 4 tenths quicker than everybody else currently at the moment for a provisional pole. With 5 minutes and change to go qualifying, everybody getting out of his way. They don't want to mess with Alexander right now. Now Alexander coming around the final corner. Flat out as much as he can, using up to 7th gear. Should be about almost 8th gear by the time he crosses the line. And this will be a quick time. He's in the 17s now. The first man to see the 17s. Setting a bench statement half a second quicker than everybody else, saying, okay, boys, I'm back. Let's bring it. It's time to rumble. And that was a pretty impressive time. Who else is on a bit of a flyer currently at the moment? I think we'll go down to Mr. P11 there of Lavi. How's Lavi doing around here in Zembor? He's flashing the gas tank. So if he is, he's very, very light. He's running on fumes. Well, he's going to commit to this lap. Let's have a look at his hot lap. He's backed off a little bit somewhere along the line. He's 1.3 seconds down on that middle sector. So I don't think he's going to commit to this. He knows that he's not really going to improve too much. Certainly when he's 1.8 seconds currently off the provisional pole. And I think this will be a pit. No, it won't. He's going to commit to it. Well, there we go. What time will that be? He should up to P8, it looks like. I think that'll probably do for Lavi. Now he's going to run out of fuel, but he's definitely going to look at running out of fuel. He's in a bit of trouble. Got to get that car back. 4 minutes and change to go in this qualifying session. I don't see anybody else get back into P4. I mean, the Grenade Goran has shot himself up into P4 currently. So there it is. You got Alexander leaving from Owen and Blinky Winkel. And then Grenade. Futuristic is quite interesting at the moment. I'm showing Tilte was on purples, but did not get any purples. Julius currently is on a flying lap. Let's have a look at the McLaren. Sorry, the Mercedes. Starts with an M. Final sector, final banking corners, close to that wall, a little too close. That's going to leave a paint. That's going to leave a bit of green paint from his striped tyres, and Julius will not improve because of that last little tangle with the wall. Well, sorry, the wall tangled with him. So he's going to have to settle to get around again and put another lap in. He's got gas in the tank. Some of the drivers you can see are in the pits now. They're starting to come out for their final lap time here. Now, I would have to suggest that I don't know why my microphone goes crazy loud over here for a second. Apologies. I would have to say it does it again too. It's got a limiter on it. It's weird. I would have to say that some of these drivers are definitely running on a dry setup too. If they're expecting a dry race, maybe with a little bit of rain. Let's have a look at that weather forecast again. Well, there it is. Currently, still the same. Nothing's changed much. I don't think we're going to look at getting any. Well, actually, sorry. My apologies. The third icon there for the forecast is the actual race forecast. Forgot to mention that one. Oops. So that's the one that shows it's going to be a little bit overcast at about 18 degrees Celsius. A little cold as the Pineapples improves up to P15, but not really the time he wants to set currently at the moment. Ooh, a little bit of an oversteer moment. He's got plenty of time to get another lap in. He's going to be really pushing it currently right now. Let's have a look at the Alpine driver, Tilte. He's up on his personal best time, you can see there. So let's see what he gets from middle sector. 54.2 is the target. He's in a 54, he's in a 55. Ooh, he's 1.5 seconds down. He's 2.2 down currently off that provisional pole. Quite sure that's going to be enough. It's a very, very tricky circuit, but these drivers are managing it very, very well here this evening. He does improve, obviously. It's a 2.1 off, but shaved about 4/10 off that lap from his personal best time, so that's okay, but not in the top 10, not where you want to have that choice. Well, they're all going to get a choice of tyres, no doubt, if we start on dry tyres, so it's not going to be that much of a worry, per se. Let's have a look at Julius here. His middle sector's just, his first set is a little off the pace here. He needs to target, I'd say, get himself in the top 10. He'd be happy with that one. He won't. He's going to stay currently where he is, not liking his conditions too much. Back to the McLaren driver of George again, as he's on a flying lap right now. His first sector is let's have a look. It's a 27.3, actually. Middle sector currently now at the moment going to get under that 54s. How much is that 54 is he going to be close to? He's 1.1 off it. So 1.1, he's 1.4. Is he going to be looking at improving a little bit? You think the track should be evolving, but I'm not seeing anybody throwing any purples currently at the moment. See, the spray's kind of eased off a little bit. He's not improving here at all, you can see. Yeah, he's got the fastest, well, not the fastest, personal best. It's 1.2 seconds off the bubble, so a little bit of improvement, but not quite enough just yet, and that will be himself finishing this session. Just trying to see what these qualifying times are at the moment. 27.2 I'm seeing is not a very good pace there from Alexander or the Red Bull driver of Owen. They're not improving at all, really. You need to be in the 26s for that first sector. I don't think this driver as well, too, of Merlin. Thunders is going to be improving. And this man is improving currently at the moment, the Red Bull driver, P13. That's Danny. He's got his set of personal best left and right, but overall, he's going to get himself up at a P10, around a little higher up. No, he won't improve. Go back to the driver of Lavi at P11 currently at the moment. He's actually finished his hot lap, and that's pretty much it, I'd say, for most of the drivers. Alexander's gone around again, but it's not the pace he needs. And I think that will be it for the qualifying session, because nobody else is going to improve. Alexander's out, but he's just on a cool-down lap. Not that he needs to save his tyres, because he's not going to require them to start the race on. But he has the pole position. And he should be pretty happy with that one. He's back, and that's Alexander is back. Just pipping there Owen. And Vinky there will slot into that P3 just ahead of Grenade. And that'll be your starting qualifying positions for this race here at Zandvoort. Just making the cars that make their way around the final out lap, in lap, in lap. There it is. There are your final qualifying positions, and yes, it's you, my friend, the Williams driver of Alexander, setting the fastest time by a margin as well, not to mention almost just over half a second there from Owen, from Blinky Vinky, Grenade, Tranquilo, Futuristic, George, Snelly, Ocean Chief, Gaffer, Lavi, Merlin Thunders, Danny, Tilde. Go to the rest of the gladiators here. And the Alpine driver, Julius, the Pineapples, and Sensei were rounded out. Sensei disqualified, so he was the only one that actually had binned his car this evening. Quite impressive, actually, that many other drivers haven't done that. Let's go over to those standings again and have a look how that will affect things. So Alexander being back, looking good, ahead of Owen. So that's where they were, obviously, for the qualifying position as well. And that's where they currently are for the Drivers' Championship. Lavi's the one that didn't quite perform where he wanted to be for the qualifying, but qualifying is one thing. You get paid points on the race results. That's the key. As we're going to get ready for some racing here in the Netherlands. And the new track's obviously added to the Formula 1 calendar in the game this season. As we're going to get ready for the qualifying sessions, we're going to go down to the track and have a look. We'll get everybody loaded in. Just quickly over the constructors again. Red Bull leading from Williams, and Williams could wrap this one up here, depending on how Owen, who is in the Red Bull, as well as Danny, so they can bring a couple of points here. It's going to be really up to how our drivers in the Williams currently at the moment, and that's obviously we're going to be looking at Agatha or something. I'm not quite sure if there's a reserve driver in the Williams. It's very hard for me to read that one. Yeah, Aga's here, but Aga's got to pick up a little bit for the Williams team, I think, because it looks like Alexander's the one that's really, holding the team here, lifting the team up. They want to win that Constructors' Championship. Although we have quite a few rounds to go, we are about halfway through the season. So you still got plenty of time for these gladiators. Next week, you'll have better standings graphics for me. Okay, thank you very much, Nico. Let's go down to the track as we get ready for their qualifying. Well, sorry, for their formation lap. That's what word I was looking for. And you can see the conditions. Let's pull up those weather, the weather forecasts and just see here. Looking pretty good at the moment. Just looking like that overcast conditions. Once again, typical Dutch weather, but without the rain. And that will be that. But the more important thing, actually, I'd have to say the other day to have a look at is how these tyres panning out, because we don't know what the drivers, and there they are currently at the moment. So we have a massive man of mixed strategy that these drivers have elected to change. Now, they're all going to be brand spanking new tyres. Remember, they have not used any of these dry tyre compounds out, so they're going to be starting those tyres practically on 0% this evening. Only one driver of Julius taking that gamble onto the hard tyres. Everybody else electing to go to the softs and the mediums. And I'm to see how Owen's going to feel that pressure there from Blinky and Grenade. And Tranquilo as well is going to have Futuristic and George and Snell Henke for company for sure, ready to pounce. And they'll go, obviously, the pit stop strategies are up on the screen there. How much you can do. That's obviously going to depending on the fact that they are on tyres that will last a few more laps than what you are regularly used to during qualifying, of course, because they, are starting on fresh tyres right now. They did not have to set their fastest lap on those tyres. So usually the fastest laps on those tyres will set a few percentages, give or take. Usually about 6 or so percent, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. But a lot of drivers have their telemetry information turned off, so I can't really see what... Oh, wow. As Snells has gone completely off the track there and binned some of those braking markers. So I went on board with him. Didn't have to worry about damaging his car. Get some heat into those tyres. Let's get ready for some racing. Nerves are going to be there. The engines are going to be pumping. They'll be revving. Different tyre strategies are going to be really crucial here. It's going to be interesting to see how the banking, how those corners handle, and how these drivers handle the pressure going into the first couple of corners. Remember, Tarzan block is a very, very tight. We've got one driver just completely out of his pit lane grid spot right there. Will sort itself out in a second. May very well cause that driver to get a drive-through penalty or something like that. We're not quite sure how that pans out, but definitely something along the line might be a problem, as we're just waiting to get it right. Good camera angle here. It'll come up in a second as soon as that signal from the game gives us a load in, rather than staring at the rear end of these cars, and that will be because of that driver that's not in that position there. Might have had a little bit of a disconnection issue or something during the formation lap. It will sort itself out. There is kind of being moved in, and the marshals out there are gonna try to get that car sorted out as we get ready for racing here in Zandvoort. We have 36 laps of the Thunder on the coast, and there's the car that goes by because it'll get a drive-through. That's Ace Boy. Yep, and you can see the car's just gone completely down the track. So we should get ready to start now. As soon as it recognises that car has out of the session. I think that's one of those relatively new issues that we've been having in the game recently. It doesn't really affect everybody else as far as I know at this point. Ace Boy was starting last anyway. We're actually going to see his car. His car's actually like driving all the way around right now. Ghosted to catch the back of the field. We might have to wait for Ace Boy, his ghosted car, to catch the back of the field. Oh, it has. And that has ended the session. No, it hasn't. Actually, it hasn't. It's going to restart. It will restart the race. Don't leave anybody. I think what that happens right now is it just restarts the session. There it is. We're off. We're absolutely off. Into turn one. Look out for that one. Alexander trying to defend against Blinky. Vinky there. Getting a position right there. Trying to make it to the outside of Tarzan into turn one. Good move there. Gained 2 positions off that. Owen dropping 2. Banking away around here. So there's Ace Boy rejoining again, as you'd expect there, but so far so good. The top 4 have got away. A couple of position changes already. And look at that, Alexander now is really sniffing the back there of Blinky. He wasn't a very happy camper to lose that position, and he wants it back. We've got to remember the tyres come into play there. Look at George in those medium tyres all the way back into P6 currently at the moment. Well, he did start at actually P7, so it's not too bad. Bit of exchange around. Not quite sure what happened with the hard tyres that happened there before. Something's been reset, but anyway, it is what it is. Currently on lap 1. So you have Linky there leading from Alexander, leading from Gray, leading from Owen, leading from Futuristic there, and George. Tranquilo's lost 4 positions off the start there. You can see Ocean Chief losing 2. Pineapple's up 4. Fantastic launch for them. Larby and Merlin. Not quite sure what happened back there. But here we go. So we're on lap 2 right now as Blinky is leading this one. Or Blindy. Call him Blinky. It's Blindy. Why these guys not in Tier 1? Not quite sure, my friend. Absolutely not quite sure. They're all definitely Tier 1 material. And here we go. No DRS is enabled just yet. We're seeing the pressure there. It looks like the Pineapple's actually boxing, so he might have got some damage on that. Yes, it looks like a front wing change. It is. So there it is. He's got plenty of time to get that done, but get back out there and, get some laps in. We're only early days. Anything is possible. You want to pick up some points in this championship, going straight onto the hard tyres, looking to go deep on this one. Let's pull up those interval times. It looks like Merlin is making his way around Julius here currently at the moment. Not quite yet. And that's Lavi actually making his way. Looked like Julius may very well have some sort of damage on that car. Looks to be going very slow, losing a couple of positions out. We'll check up on him later. Meanwhile, at the front of the field there, we still had that little bit of pressure between Alexander and Grenade. But Blindy is Winkley is still doing a pretty good job in the lead of this race. Keeping it all within that half a second window. Alexander's kind of sizing up right now. This is the DRS activation. We got more graphics. I told you guys we're promising more graphics, and here's that game battle graphic. Look at this currently at the moment. Battle for P1 between the Williams and the Mercedes. You can see it's half a second. You'll get that DRS activation will actually show up on this graphic as well, courtesy of the Team telemetry software that I use, which is free. You can see he's shaving it down now. 2 tenths almost. 1 tenth. This could be an overtaking opportunity right now. You'll be sizing him up to use that DRS to the maximum visibility. Oh, look at the way you got to swing the car out off camber. The different racing lines that they're taking. This is it, sizing him up. DRS is now activated. You can see on the rear of the Williams. It did show he's down a little bit there. I think Blindy has just used a little bit more. He's actually burned some energy there to try to defend against that. Has it worked? Well, this is going to be the crucial part right now when you come out down the banking straight. And this is the one where that DRS is activated. You'll see it right there. Bang. Look at this time. It's going to come in pretty quickly. Look at this down at 3 tenths. There's going to be an overtaking opportunity for sure. As you're going to try to set up the inside. Alexander, he's got to keep this. Going to be side by side through here. This is what you love about that turn 2, turn 3. Has he got ahead? He has. And it looks like Blindy's got around. He has got around. Look at this. Oh, that's going to cost him a lot of time. And he's got to get back on the track there and try not to throw everybody else. Lucky for ghosting. Oh, he's tried to defend it, just gone offline a little bit somewhere, and that's compromised it. That's allowed Alexander to come back up into the lead of this race. Now, Grenade is in P2. Agatha is in P7, the teammate of the Williams. And Danny currently at the moment. Ooh, we've lost Danny. Where's Danny gone? There is Danny. As he looks like he's got damage. He collided with the Ferrari too, Tranquillo. So they've had a tangle-wangle somewhere around there. That would be around turn 6 or 7. The Ferrari drivers now currently all dropped all the way down into turn 7. Lots of action and tangles early. This is the closest battle that we can see on the track. Now, George is doing okay up to P5 currently at the moment from starting at P7. He's on the medium tyres. Let's have a look at this battle currently at the moment between Snell and, well, behind him is Mr. Blinky's coming back right now. He's too far back, I'd have to say, right here. The Williams driver to do anything about the Alfa Romeo. He's just sizing up, I think, for another challenge. And the next lap, probably a little bit frustrated about that little bit of a mistake. Well, that's Agatha. Sorry, my apologies. Agatha didn't make a mistake. Looks like Merlin currently has had a spin. Yes, he is. There is the Alfa Romeo, AlphaTauri. And he's got to do a bit of a reverse to get back on there. He's got Tranquillo coming around the corner in a little bit. I think he's got a bit of a gap to Tranquillo. A funny game. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on this battle currently at the moment because the Williams is really putting some pressure on. Oop. Hey, the wrong one. So we want to see the tyre performance graphic just yet. We want to see this graphic as we're seeing Agatha. I don't know. I'm just horrible with names. But it is what it is, because Snell's now catching the back there of George. He'll get that. No, he's just outside the DRS activation there of George. And George is stuck up behind Futuristic as well. We might have to go to that battle, which we will. And here it is. I think George has got that overtake done. Snell's actually lost 2 positions. I think Snell's just lost that position as well, too, for the Williams. No, he hasn't. He's into the wall. Oh. I don't know how Snell got. Snell did get a little bit of damage, unfortunately. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, Snell has, look at that, front right damage, and it's going to cost him a lot. It's about 27 or so %. So Snell's going to have to get in that box and fix that. He's going to be a bit of a sitting target right now to most of those drivers. He's going to try to take that DRS as much as possible. It's very unfortunate for the Dutchman on his home track as well. And it looks like Blinky actually got it. He got the job done past George. Bindi. Why call him Blinky? Am I streaming from my bathroom? No. Why, does it sound like that? It's quite interesting if you hear anything in the background. Usually I don't have that problem. Danny. Getting past Sensei. I think it is. Oh, that's the car off track there. That's Sensei, I think. Yes, it is. He's completely stopped on track. That's the Alfa Romeo. There's a reset the track. And we've lost the Williams driver. Sorry, I'm just trying to find him. Agatha. Agatha's dropped a lot of positions. Will he box? No, he won't. He's had a spin. It's extremely echoey. Interesting. Interesting. That's quite weird. All right. I don't know why. I'm really not quite sure why it's echoey. Apologies about that one. Anyway. Can't do much about that. Owen's putting some pressure currently at the moment. Let's have a look. We don't need a hot lap. We need to battle. Yeah, I saw the reset the track as well there, Lars. So that's up to the stewards. Apologise if I'm echoey. I don't know why I'm echoey. And we've lost our Ocean Chief. Another one spinning around here. Ocean Chief has spun that currently around the Renault block. Turn 8, it appeared to be. Back on track. 10 years in prison for resetting the track. Woo, you guys are hard in this league. Marilyn putting on Julius. Mergent up on the inside. It's a classic overtaking here. Got 11 to comply with the inside line. Will then come back to the Mercedes. But if Merlin can keep it committed here, he's going to have the inside. But then around the outside will be the racing line. Now it's going to come down to the exit speed out of here because it's going to be a drag. Who's going to get the DRS activation as well? That's going to be the crucial part. Doesn't look like any of those drivers actually get the DRS activation. As they go into turn 1. Oh, Julia's put up a good defense there. Merlin really putting some pressure on. Is it the tyre difference coming into play? I'm not quite sure. Yeah, it's putting pressure on. Another yellow sector. We might be coming close to the pit stop windows. We're on lap 8 of 36. Probably a little bit more to go here at the moment. Oh, a little bit of a mistake right now, and that's not what you want to have. Julius, a little bit wide he runs. But it ain't over just yet. They're still going to go side by side, and they did this before in the previous lap. And they're going to be doing it again in this lap. I think at the moment that Julius is going to have to yield that one, as George and Tranquilo behind him are now copying similar situations, as there is now a three-way battle. As Snell has come back out of the pits there with some fresh boots, is catching this party, but he's now compromised a little bit by being caught up behind these cars. As we looked in an overtake here. There's a close overtake here. Oh, look at this. Oh, they've gone, and that's somebody off. That's the Red Bull spinning. That's Owen. You can see a bit of a tangle there between those two drivers. That's Owen facing into the walls. I'm surprised that we have drivers getting some damage. I'm not quite sure how much damage he has on that front wing, if he has any. And that's the Red Bull, keeping a lot of those Red Bull drivers up there. Not very happy campers as he's putting all that dust and sand back on the track there. That means the Haas driver of Lavi will get through in the background there. Tilde will as well drive around the outside as Owen just needs to keep his cool and keep that car on the track. Get the temperature cooled down in those tyres. Snell's really trying to put some pressure on the back there. Oh, there he is. Merlin thunders as well too on Julius. I see Merlin's gone around there. We can maybe be able to see where Merlin has. He's spun somewhere. There he is, just ahead of Tranquilo. So he's lost out to George and Julius. As you can see right now, currently at the moment, there is Snell. Snelly. As Owen's boxing, he did get damaged, no doubt, that Red Bull driver, or he just wants to get rid of those really worn tyres now. Those cooked tyres. As Agatha gets a 5-second penalty for spinning the pit lanes, the other Williams driver is boxing. And Snell's not doing too much about it, even with the DRS, but that's because Tranquilo also is getting the DRS. You can see on the battle screen from Merlin. Well, hello everybody, welcome along. Sorry if I'm echoey, I have really no idea why I'd be echoey. Everything is off, very directional microphone. Do a few of these a week, never really had that much of a problem, but obviously it is today. And Julius and Giant, jeez, and keeping all early action going on here. As they're still going at it here currently at the moment on lap 11 of 36. We're going about 1/3 of the way through the race. And still, yet a lot of those drivers aren't boxing to get rid of those tyres. And what do you think those tyres would currently be at the moment? Well, I have to say, there's Merlin making a run. You'd have to say currently at the moment you'd be looking at about, one that's not showing up currently at the moment. I don't know why that's not showing on the wrong car. My apologies. It's supposed to be on this car. Actually, we go over to Mr. Futuristic. That's the Ferrari driver. So his tyres will be looking at about 46% in that front left. This is an estimate, of course, but they are the tyres that take the most of the punishment. That front left, obviously, with those high banking corners. So they've still got a little bit of grip in them. Obviously could do a few more laps than what they had before. So he's currently at the moment, there's the pit stop window coming up. And there's your battle currently at the moment between himself and the Mercedes up ahead. As Snell and Tranquillo. Snell gets past Tranquillo with those fresh boots. Tranquillo's going to stretch them out a little bit more to go to those mediums if they're going to do a one-stop strategy. As we are on lap 12 of 36 here of the Tier 2, which is the Tier 3 and Tier 2 have been merged together, guys, as you're well aware. Just to spice things up a little bit more to fill the grid. There are different levels of competition, but certainly we have great levels of competition between some of these drivers. As we're seeing local yellow on the track there for somebody that might have a bit of an off. That's a Red Bull driver, actually. I think that is maybe of Agafar. No, it's another Red Bull driver. That's Danny. That's Danny. Danny's had a spin. Around turn 6 again, I think it is. That's the one. That's the classic track, classic corner that just catches people completely off guard. And it's caught. So there's a Grenade now boxing. So one of the trying the undercut, 52%. I'd say his front tire was. So it's a front wing change, but. Oh, that's going to cost you a little bit of time. That's going to cost you about 14 seconds plus 5, about 20-second pit stop. Actually, why is it showing? Yeah, it's going to be about 20-second pit stop. Yeah, give or take. So usually a very quick pit stop, Vernie. One of the quickest pit stops you're going to get in the Formula 1 calendar. Usually about 14 seconds you can go in and out. So pit stops don't cost you a lot of time. However, Danny is boxing right now. Oh, make sure you brake in time, my friend. 80 km/h pit lane entrance. Yeah, but he's going to be about 20-second pit stop. With a front wing change. And there it is. So what's Futuristic going to be doing right now? When Alexander's going to respond, I'm going to keep an eye on what's going to happen. But Grenade did get a front wing change, so that's not really going to give us the right comparison of how much time it's going to take to lose. But he is currently in P6, and he is provisionally in the lead of this race. However, he's 28 seconds down the road. And there it is. So Alexander's now boxing and responding. 56%, I'd have to say front left tyre that he is. He'll get rid of it. No front wing change in and out. That's going to give us a good indication of a pit stop. How good's the pit stop for the Williams team? He's also got he's got Blindy behind him, or Bindi. And they're going to come out. Now, Futuristic will start. They come out just ahead, and I think the only no traffic whatsoever, so it's worked brilliantly for the Williams team. And he's pulled a good gap there onto the medium tyres. That was a good 13.8 second pit stop. So that's even quicker than the 14 second pit stop. Oh, but the Blindy got a penalty for spitting the pit lane, it looks like. So that's going to compromise his chance. He was doing quite well as well, too. The man starting in P3. Now nursing a 5-second penalty. I think 3-second penalty on them. Oh, he's had a spin. He's had a spin. Look at this. Oh, he's had to spin on these fresh boots. Going to be very frustrated now. Get yourself back around on track. Currently, he spun it in turn 6 as well. That's where, he's spinning again because his tyres are just cooked. He's got to cool, calm, and relax here. Going to allow a lot of these drivers to go through and then find a gap. Right now, he can get the accelerator, not too much. Just keep it cool, relax a little bit. The hard tyres just could not get them up into temperature quick enough. Still in it. Futuristics now boxing. Let's see, the undercut's definitely paid off. Alexander's now back into lead of this race. Lavi currently will take that position, but Lavi's got to be feeling the pain on these tyres. I wonder what he's going to be feeling like. There it is. Ooh, it's getting close to... This is an approximate guess, but I tell you what, this team telemetry software is pretty damn good for the smart, big-braining programming algorithms that the programmer puts into this, and it's about 61% front left. And that might be very well close to what it is. Trust me, in some of the broadcasts that I've been doing since I've been testing this software, I've seen it and I've compared it to the real tyre strategy, and it's pretty close. So at some point, he's going to have to react to this, because if he boxes currently at the moment, he's going to be squeezing it out. Oh, I don't know where he's going to drop out. He needs to get ahead of Ocean Chief. That's going to be the key. He doesn't want to be stuck behind Ocean Chief, because Ocean Chief needs to box. And I think this might very well be the lap he needs to box right now, because Ocean Chief's under a bit of pressure there from George. We'll keep an eye on that, actually. Go back to that battle. George got the fresh boots, remember. Alexander, the fresh boots, is trying to build that massive gap that he needs to continue to dominate this race that he's already done. Starting in P1, currently in P1. Making that pit stop. Got to make those mediums go to the end of the race now. We are just over halfway through the race, getting close to the halfway through the race, and Lava's boxing now. Yep. So there it is, and here we go. George is going to make a run. As you'd expect, he should be able to get this job done pretty easy with those tyres. And there is the pit stop window to save from those medium tyres to go. Oh, look at that coming out of the pit lane. There's the Haas driver. They got ahead, and they have. So Lavi's got held up by this, is what I was saying. Lavi, he needed to make sure he could get out ahead of Ocean Chief, but unfortunately he hasn't. He's been held up by Ocean Chief. That's going to be a bit frustrating to him. He wants to get on the power early. He can't afford to lose his position. Remember, he's battling it out with Grenade up ahead. Grenade, because George is going to... George doesn't have to box again because George made an earlier pit stop. But then George's tyres might be a little bit costly. But there you go. Lavi has got the job done. He's very happy, I guess. He didn't want to get held up too late, but I think he would have probably won a time at one lap earlier and then get ahead of both of those drivers. It would have been... Didn't cost him too much time. Back into P12, I think at the moment we're going to see the Williams driver get past this Ferrari driver, the only Ferrari driver at the moment on the track, still on the same soft tyres that he started the race on. And what are those tyres currently at the moment? Let's have a look at them. Well, they're about 65. Is that a little bit easier, I'd say? He's let him through. He didn't want to fight that battle. Smart drivers there at the moment. Good driver sportsmanship. Don't get into a tangle with somebody that's not on the same strategy as you, because you are in a long season, remember, as well. So that's very clever of him. Come back later when you got the fresh tyres and you can resume that battle. So we've had our pit stop rounds for most of the drivers, at least the top 5 drivers. So you still have Alexander leaving this. Futuristic now did a fantastic job. His strategy's paid off brilliantly. Tranquillo's now boxing for that Ferrari. We expected that. He's got a front wing change. No, in and out. Gone to the hards. Wants to go to the end of the race. We may be looking at a 2-stop strategy for some of these drivers. I tell you what, Futuristic is looking good, obviously. So is Alexander. So is Grenade. George might be a little bit of problem here. What do you guys think out there? 9 laps on those tyres is a long way to go. He's already starting to feel the pressure a little bit from Lavi. As Lavi's starting to really gain on him. And it looks like there's actually might have been an overtake between those two drivers at the front there. Sorry. As Futuristics dropped back. Futuristics had a spin. That's the reason why Futuristics dropped back. Ouch. That's going to hurt him. Now, Futuristic was looking good here. P6 up into P2, and now he's under massive pressure from George, as you can see, because he's got to try to keep those tyres a little bit cooler. You don't want to be going off the bat. Oh, there it is. And he's going to almost get overtaken as well, too, by Lavi now. This is what happens. You make one little error around here in spin vort. That's exactly right there, Strix. And you're in a bit of trouble, but you're still in it here. You're still in it. He had good tyres on him, so does Lavi. You're You got to remember up ahead, George has got pretty worn tyres. George can't try to make those tyres go to the end. It's going to be super, super difficult. So these guys have to be thinking about podiums here right now. I don't think about wins unless Alexander makes a mistake, as Alexander's basically just in a league of his own currently at the moment. Almost, he has a pit stop in hand over everybody else, so he can come in and out and put any tyres on. I don't think he has to worry about this. These guys are all battling right now currently for the rest of the podium positions. That's what they're thinking about. I think drivers obviously thinking about race wins, but at the end of the day, you got to be thinking about the realism of what you can get. As we currently are in... Oh, I wonder what you can hear. Maybe because that's coming through. No, okay. Yeah, here we go. The battle is on. And look at that. They're both going to get the DRS too. That's the problem right now, isn't it? From Lavi. Futuristic's getting the DRS from George. So he's got to basically say, Lavi, you got to get an overtake done, my friend. Otherwise, I'm just matching your pace. And they currently are. George is doing a fantastic job on these tyres. I think Mr. George Ionides is one of those tyre masters. We'll go to Futuristic, but let's see what he can do about the McLaren driver. McLaren driver, remember, on those 11-lap tyres. So they're still good. They've still got plenty of tyre life in them. It's just that when you've got these fresh boots on your car, you've got so much more grip and pace. You've got to take advantage of them as quickly as possible before they fall into that regular zone. Still two drivers out there, Merlin and Ocean Chief. They're both teammates, and they both are electing to make those tyres go really deep and long in this race. I'm actually curious to see how the tyres are going to be panning out there for Mr. Merlin. He's got traffic up ahead, and he's caught the back of this lava. Now, his tyres currently at the moment, let's have a look at those. As you can see, 57% or so front left. So I think when you start getting around the 60s, you're going to get a little bit tricky, because that's when you can start to spin. We saw a few of those drivers doing it. So will he box? His teammate Ocean is 3 seconds down the road from him, so there's going to have to be a good strategy call between the AlphaTauris, because there will be a double stack if they're not careful. Might compromise them a little bit of time. Futuristic is really trying to get past George right now, like mad, because he's holding everybody up. George is holding everybody up. Yeah, the DRS train of Futuristic, Lavi, and Merlin. I call him Merlin. That's it. I've just decided. And then you've got the other drivers. I don't think going to be too much of a problem. Well, Merlin's not doing too bad. Is he bringing Ocean Chief in the play? No. Still three and so down the road, actually. Ocean Chief is dropping a little bit of time. But Snell Hankey right now got some pace. Somehow, he's finding extra pace out of these tyres. As we've got some drivers coming and going here, no doubt, just realising it's a league race and say, oops, I'm not supposed to be here. That's fine. Sensei's boxing currently in the moment. He must have had damage there, because it seems too early. Just Patou's actually retired from the session. That's a little bit unfortunate here in a race where we still got quite a bit to go. Anything can happen. Danny's retired as well, so 2 DNFs. Danny's actually retired. He's actually binned it. The Red Bull driver has binned it out of between turn 11 and 12. That's an actual retirement on track. Will that bring a safety car out? The car has been removed. Perhaps it won't. Ferrari's going very slow. I think it's Tranquilo. Can't see on the track map, but we'll see. He's back on. He's just had a bit of a spin. So lap 21 of 36, and things are starting to settle down a little bit in this. Tranquilos has damage, I think, no doubt. That's the reason why. And look at that. Once again, Futuristic can't find a way past George. George is just really parking the car in all the right places here this evening. Fantastic job. He's defending like mad, probably praying for a safety car so he can get in and out and get rid of those tyres. We've lost a car up. We're going down the main straight. Check out to the left here. We've lost one of the cars. I think that's Sensei's car. Should be parked up around there. I think it's been removed. Can't quite see it. Still showing it in turn 1. Beached up there. But it's way off the racing line. As Ocean Chief is finally boxing to get rid of these tyres. So his teammate, he's the only one, his teammate's the only one left now on the medium tyres they started with. Julius started on those hard tyres. He's still got a little bit to go, no doubt. looking for a sprint run to the end on the softs. And Ocean Chief, well, he is P11. Currently, at the moment, coming back out there with some fresh boots. I don't think he'll have any problems with the Pineapple down the road there because Pineapple's on 19-lap tyres. And now Ocean Chief's got to get on with it and get that 7-second gap there to Agafar and catch him up pretty quickly. Penalties look pretty good at the moment. Some of the drivers are nursing 2 warnings. And here we go. Futuristic really still stuck up behind. Can't do anything about that. That's bringing everybody else into play. He's got it finally. And that's because George is gone. George is gone. George's tyres a little bit, must have done something wrong. 41% or so, it's not too bad, but George has had a spin. That's allowed Merlin through, that's allowed Lavi through, and Futuristic. So they finally have managed to clear him. I've actually a bit of a sigh of relief for those drivers. Not so much for George, unfortunately. But George is still in it. He's got a box right now, get rid of these tyres. Hit the brake pedal under the 80. Drop him back quite a bit. Should get out ahead of Julius, perhaps. Where is it? The AlphaTauri driver up. Ocean Chief is now coming around. Where's Ocean Chief? Is there damage repaired? There was damage repaired on the McLaren. So Ocean Chief will get out ahead. No doubt. No problems. He will. McLaren driver might actually lose out here to his teammate. Here he is. Look, there's his teammate. Is he going to allow his teammate through? No, he won't. The Pineapple says, okay, you go, my friend, because Pineapple's on 20-lap tyres. Probably a smart move from the McLaren drivers there not to hold up your teammate when he has fresh boots. Actually work together now and get a tow for a little bit. As Lavi is the man putting some pressure on. These tyres are not too bad. They're all fresh. We'll have a look at this battle. Showing a little bit of rain in the forecast, but it'll be too far back, I think, to do anything about this. Now, Lavi's going to have that DRS. It should be an easy peasy. Merlin's now boxing. That's the teammate at Ocean Chief. Where's he going to come out at as well, too? It's just ahead of Ocean Chief. That's going to be quite interesting, as that's an overtake done between those two drivers. Now, Ocean Chief is coming around the back straight right now. Merlin's leaving the pit lane, and I think Merlin's definitely done it. There he is, entering the pit lane, exiting the pit lane right now, and he'll be ahead of his teammate, Ocean Chief, who's coming around the first corner. So he's managed to get that 5-second or so gap there by staying a little bit longer. That's quite good. It's quite worked out good. And Agafa's now boxing to get rid of those tyres. He's got a bit of a challenge coming out of the pit lane here. Look at this. There's McLaren of George, and he is ahead. So he'll be pretty much happy with that one. And he's going to have the soft tyres. Actually, no, he's not ahead of George. He's ahead of Pineapples. And he's got to catch George up the road now. But he has the tyres. There's Owen now putting pressure on Snell Hankey. Owen is not too bad on 13-lap tyres. 13-lap hard tyres, not to mention. Snell's going to have to defend quite a bit here. But the DRS is powerful. Where'd the car? He's boxed. He's boxed. There's Snell Hankey boxing. I was like, where did Snell go? He's boxed. He's in the pits. He's getting rid of those 17-lap tyres. And remember, he boxed earlier in this race. So he boxed on lap 7. So I think he got damage after starting in P8. Oh. Where is he currently at the moment? P9. Is he going to get out ahead? He should get out ahead of the McLaren driver of George. He will. So he's cleared that. Back on it in the points. Yeah, he boxed on lap 7. And then did 18 laps. Lap 7 on the soft tyres. So he's, yeah, I think he was nursing some sort of damage and boxed pretty early. Owen still managed to keep in here with the 14-lap tyres. That's right, lap 26 or 36, with 10 to go now. Alexander dominating this race. Grenade doing a pretty good job up from 4th position currently into P2. Keeping Futuristic at bay. Futuristic making that little bit of a mistake that could possibly have cost him that P2 position. Lavi's solid. Fantastic job actually from Lavi, starting in P11, currently running in P4. Tilte, here's an overtake down the main straight with that DRS run. Should be pretty easy peasy, but Owen once again is on those older tyres, making mincemeat actually of Tilte. Tilte's going to have that DRS run come back on this one. As Pineapples picks up his first corner cutting penalty for this evening. The only driver currently at the moment holding a penalty. It's quite amazing. Doing a fantastic job for these drivers. Owen's just driving away with this current at the moment. Quite amazing on those tyres. Definitely going to look at taking them to the end. You're going to be very careful to punish them too much. So keep an eye on Snell. 3.7 there down on Ocean Chief on those fresh boots. That's going to brew into a nice little battle that'll be occurring soon, I would imagine, if you can get that time down there. George is actually gaining a little bit there, I'd have to say, on Snell Hankey. So Pineapple's boxing. Keep an eye on Merlin, actually. Because Merlin's got some pace here. Look at that. He's set the fastest first sector. How's his middle sector? Not going to have a DRS tow just yet. He's 1.5 down the road. And there is the confirmed, the fastest lap. And he knows he's got more pace. He shaved a 1 second off the previous flying lap, fastest lap. Absolutely amazing. Let's see how the next lap is going to go as he's flying. Down to 1 point. He's in the DRS range too. Look at this. He's in the DRS range of Tilt Day. And now he's going to take advantage of these brand new tyres. Spanking fresh out of the boots. Out of the blankets. Got to take advantage of it as much as possible. How's his first sector? 2/10 down. But that's 2/10 down on his previous lap. Because remember, he's got the fastest lap already. And he's lapping the 112s. Some of the other drivers behind him are lapping the 112s, but those guys at the front are lapping the 113s, the late 113s. So this is the time to start pouncing, although you're not going to be able to catch Mr. Alexander. He currently, at the moment, if you look at the gaps to the leader, you can see 40 seconds off our leader. He's just looking at maximising some additional points here in the midfield, trying to catch some of those drivers. And an exit speed. All too easy. Just the fresh boots, simple as that. He's going to be able to take this corner, brake a lot harder, and get done with it up the road. Next up the road from him will be Owen. And, well, speaking of this, I don't know what the hell's going on, but Alexander's just found a whole bunch of pace in these tyres as he's been sandbagging. Look at this. Fastest first and second sector. For this man, that's on 13-lap medium tyres. He's cranked everything he can up right now. He's responding. He doesn't like it that the fastest lap's been stolen. He wants the trifecta. He's going to cross the line right now. He's going to get the fastest lap. What will it be? Bang, 112. 112 flat. Unbelievable on these tyres that are about 40% worn. Look at that. There's your tyre performance. So somehow along the line, he's just found a much more traction for the Williams driver. He's going for that trifecta, I think, at the end of the day. That's what we kind of expect for our race leader. He's just dominating, absolutely dominating Zandvoort here this evening. Trying to see anybody else is really doing anything about it. Tilte's still hanging in the DRS range, but falling out of it a little bit currently at the moment from Merlin. Owen's hanging in there. I think Alexander also, well, that man can box. He can box right now, and he can take a pit stop easy. He's 26 seconds up the road. It's an easy 14-second pit stop in and out, even if you brake a lot earlier for the pit lane speed entrance. You can really play it safe. But I think at the moment he's set that fastest lap just to kind of see if anybody else could beat it. If somebody else does beat it, well, he's got 7 or so laps to get out there and get it done. We'll say 6. As Julius is just really... Is he hanging in there? Is he ghosted? I can't quite see. He's ghosted, unfortunately. And that's because he's a back marker, allowing Grenade through. Yeah, he's just allowing the Grenade through there. That's why Julius backed off there. Grenade's still hanging in there currently at the moment. Let's have a look at those position gainers and losers, everybody. There they are. As you can see, great job for Lavi. Up 7 positions, 6 positions for Merlin. Tranquillo is the one that's lost out there for the Ferrari driver, down 8 positions. But still in it at the moment, just hanging in there, seeing if anything can happen, go the wrong way, and perhaps get a couple of points at the back. Thunderstorms are showing, but too far back for sure. In this, for the weather forecast, yeah, it's still going to be sunshine right now for the rest of this race. If it was a 100% race, then definitely be looking at thunderstorms towards the end of this one, but it's not. Have a look at the Williams driver of Agafar. Now, this is crucial too because Williams are battling it out in this championship. So he needs to get past George here in the McLaren and try to get these extra point here. He's got his teammate's going to collect the full maximum 25 plus the extra fastest lap. And Agfa needs to get an extra point here for the Williams. And that could perhaps, definitely, I'd have to say, we've only got one of the Red Bulls of Owen in there. So, yeah, Williams will take the lead of this championship in the Constructors if this plays out like this, for sure. And you want to steal an extra point if you can. I know that's something that's on the back of the Williams driver, Agafar. He wants it. And this is the battle he needs to get past Mr. George. But George is not an easy driver to get past. We've seen that all season. He's a very good defender, even on much older tyres. But at the moment, his tyres are pretty much even Stevens. Maybe a little bit more advantage for the Williams driver on the softs, but their softs are going to start to fall off a little bit, and they'll come into play evenly a little bit more as we go down the back straight, main straight. There's that DRS activation you can see there on the window. Is this going to be enough? Not quite yet. Let's going to think about it. You're not going to throw off George that easily. George is a little bit more wise to that. So we're getting it down to the business end now. I think we'll just keep an eye on this battle for a little bit. Still occurring between these two gladiators. Alexander still leading. There's Merlin getting a time penalty. Ooh, that's going to hurt him. Ooh, no, it won't. So Tilde is now 4.6 seconds down the road. Merlin is he's got the gap. So I think he's got to make sure he maintains that, and he'll still finish in that P6 position. It's going to make it easy for us today, mathematics-wise, because not many penalties to have to sit there and crunch the numbers and work it all out. Local yellow, not seeing anybody. Somebody must have just run a little bit wide. Here we go, another run there now for the Williams driver. Wants to get that P10. These are tyre graphics from the actual game performance there. So as you can see, Agafa's tyres are... I don't know why it's showing you pineapples for. Pineapples is a little bit further down the road there. It should actually be showing you George's, but George is going to think about maybe get that DRS back. I think this battle ain't over just yet. That's for sure. It's definitely the closest battle on track. And whether or not George can come back and play a little bit later on this one will be interesting. And that's your battle for P10 too. Remember, as you can see on the graphics there, that is your battle for crucial championship points. I mean, obviously the McLaren driver wants a point. They want a point because Pineapple's currently in P12 with none. Oh, there's a little bit of a tap. No front wing damage that I can see. But certainly a bit of pride. You can see he's much quicker through there, a little bit more confident. Does that mean those tyres from Agafa are falling off a little bit? Not sure. A little speed difference. So here we go again. Oh! There's a little bit of a tank slapper between the drivers. A little bit Christmas cards will be sent to those two drivers. I'm not quite sure they all will be sending each other Christmas cards, but so George back into the lead of this one. He's fighting for it left, right, and centre. Tooth and nail. Only a couple of laps to go. Agafa now wants this one back. He's going to want it back for sure. They're still absolutely at this. The Williams and the McLaren battling for the final point in this race. Nothing that Mr. Alexander needs to worry about. 28 seconds down the road. He's got the fastest lap. He's not going to box, I don't think, at all to worry about defending his fastest lap. He's going to get that trifecta. Grenade. Doing a fantastic job from P4. Ooh, there's a mistake there from Agafa. That's it. Agafa's out of perhaps getting that P11 now. Unless he's going to miracle. He's out of the DRS too. And now he's going to have to settle for that P11 and just hope that something goes wrong a little bit up the road there. What's happened to Ocean Chief? It's Snell. That caught me off guard there a little bit. Didn't realize how close they were. Ocean Chief definitely putting some pressure on currently right now. And these are for P8 and P7. Agafa's actually retired from the session. He's been to somewhere. No, I don't. That's a retirement. Oh, no, he's just decided enough is enough. Well, that's unfortunate. He's retired on track somewhere, but he's not binned it. He's not DNF'd. He's not crashed it. I think he was just unhappy that did not get that position. But I'd say finish the race, man. 2 laps to go. Just finish the race. Ocean Chief now. He wants this P8 from Snell Hankey. Well, his tyres are a little bit more worn, but not too bad. Yeah, 43 or so in change to go. As you can see, the tyre performance graphic estimate. About 43, that's fine. No problems. Should have the traction. But is he too far back to do it? We're on the penultimate lap right now. We got to remember, too, that the leader is quite some way up there. So this may very well be close to the last lap for these drivers. As Alexander is, well, is currently... He's getting close. He's going to be actually getting close to starting the final lap right now. There he is. And he's on the final lap. He's 29 seconds, 30 seconds down the road from everybody else on the track. Absolutely dominated this race, the Swedish driver. Just bring it when he needed to bring it. He's had the one pit stop, and he's nursing 2 warning spots, so that's the only thing he has to be a little bit careful about. But even he can get a penalty if he wants. He's got plenty of time up his sleeve. And he's got a bit of a back marker in play as well. And that will be, it appears to be, is that Snell? No. Who was the back marker in play? It is Snelly. Oh, that's because I'm back on Ocean Chief. God damn it. I'm all over the place. Sorry, my apologies. Oh, you broke your front wing. I saw the little bit of a tangle between you guys. But I stopped bringing the car home anyway, mate. But it is what it is. One for the Stewarts. Good battle, but absolutely fantastic battle between yourself and George towards the end there for that battling for that last position. Oh, what's happened? Grenades had a spin. Oh, that's very unfortunate for him. Anyway, we go over to Alexander's won this race. He is absolutely dominant. He's done the race. Futuristic should get that P2 way down the road. But what happened there to Grenade? Grenade had a little bit of a spin or something. He was not close enough. I didn't see anybody. Now going to drop down to P5. That's very, very unfortunate for him. He's running in a comfortable P2 for so long as well. That's super unfortunate for him. That's not what you want to have, isn't it? After doing such a great job, it was gained up there. Futuristic now going to cross that line and get that P2 position 35 seconds down the road there. Lavi will get that P3 position just ahead of Owen, who's starting to catch him towards the end. Maybe that's because they had to take avoiding actions there. But there's Grenade. A tiny little mistake now crossing that line. A bit further back, we're going to have some of those drivers now coming across. There's Tilde, P7. There's Snell Hankey, P8. We'll get that position there. Ocean Chief. But Alexander, there he is. The man, the Swede, has done it. Absolutely done it. Back on top of, well, he is on the Drivers' Championships and securing even more points in this championship. And now bringing Williams to the top of the Drivers' Championship, so the Constructors' Championship as well, on top of that. So what a race. A little unfortunate there, Agfa. I call you Agfa, I don't know why, but I just do that. As Lavi gets the driver of the day, that's because of Lavi. It started in P3, if I'm not mistaken. We've seen this dance before, haven't we? That's another domination up there for... Actually, the Scandinavian drivers have just got back up there again, haven't they? We have both of the Swedish drivers and we have a Finnish driver. I guess because I love this weather in the Dutch coast. Used to these conditions there. That's Lavi, actually. And the Haas driver, yeah. So Alexander and Futuristic, the Swedish duo, get it. Grenade could have got that P3. We could have had a domination for all 3 Swedish drivers, but a little bit of mistake towards the end. We'll probably hear from the driver in the interviews. Lavi from Owen, that dropped a couple of positions, still bringing that Red Bull home, still keeping the Red Bull hopes in the championship alive there. Merlin, AlphaTauri there, Tilde. Snell Hankey, Ocean Chief, P9 there. George, a great battle there for McLaren, getting that final point there. From Pineapple hanging in there, P16 to P11 there. Tranquilo, the Ferrari, not having a great day there. Julius, as well, Mercedes not having a great day. Williams, just missing out. Agafo, you saw the retirement there from Sensei Daddy. And there's your DNF, so Danny, Blinky, and Ace Boy. And that will be your results from this race, this round here for the 2S Season X course, 10th season in the Tier 2. We'll have the Tier 1 coming up soon. We'll see if we get some interviews soon from some drivers, so don't go anywhere. We'll find out how it all went. Welcome everybody, we're back. We're going to get some interviews actually currently underway with some of the gladiators, some of the drivers, aka gladiators. And well, I've got three of them actually here in the moment. I know which one of you guys want to go first from the results there?
I reckon Alex go first.
Yeah, why not?
All right, Alex, man, domination, man. The trifecta today from pole. And a race win by a margin as well, 30-odd seconds, I believe it was. And on top of it, you got the fastest lap pretty late there as well. Like, just pulled that one out of nowhere on, 16, 17 lap tyres. Mate, goated. How was that?
Yeah, it was a nice race. Nice battle in the beginning, but unfortunately it's fun. And then the race was pretty lonely. The only problem I really had during the whole race was with fuel management. So I messed that whole thing up. So I was losing so much fuel, and I was at some point in the middle of the race at negative. So I wasn't going to finish with fuel. So I was like, okay, I need to do something now to save. So when I went on my mediums, I think on lap 5, when I've done 5 laps on the mediums, then I started to save fuel, and that also made me save my tires. And when I saw the guy on softs making his fastest lap, then I was like, I have 90% DRS, I have good tires, good grip, nothing to lose. Let's go. And I did it. So yeah, it's good.
And securing yourself back in the championship as well, quite well. Like, on top of that, and I believe as well, if I'm not mistaken, you guys will, for the constructors, now bring your Williams right up at the top of the timesheet with Red Bull, with Owen, the only one, the Red Bull pulling some points here this evening. Well, your teammate almost got a point as well. Mr. Alexander, he was battling it for it, but had a late retirement. I was
looking at the race. I was about lapping them, so I saw everything they were doing. So you're trying to catch up and see and help my teammate, of course. But yeah, he binned it in the last corner and he spun out, which was unfortunate.
Unfortunate for him, but not a fortunate day for Sweden, because you had the 2 Swedes back on the top. You almost had 3 actually, because I'm not quite sure what happened to the other Swedish driver that was running in P3.
Yeah, I got told that he tried to go for the fastest lap, but he messed it up.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, congratulations, mate. Good, another one another trophy on the shelf, and perhaps a little bit closer once again to the Drivers' Championship trophy. So well done to Alexander for another race win and more points on the top of the other Drivers' Championship.
Thank you.
All right, who's next, guys? We'd like to chat to. Who would like to? Owen, Futuristic. You have two drivers else here. Ready to chat?
Yep, I'm ready.
Futuristic, go ahead, mate.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I were for the first race. I were like just only protecting my softs. Wasn't trying to do any fancy stuff. So just some tire management in the first stint and try to overcut the guys around me, which I successfully did. Because I think Granada has had a front wing change after an incident. So, and I think it was George I were fighting as well, in the same who was on the hards for some reason I didn't understand. So yeah, and then it was I had 2 seconds to the guy behind, so I was just protecting the tires as well. It was basically protecting the tire so it could last and try get faster and faster for every lap, which I actually got since I set my personal best on the last lap. So yeah, and to get the 4th podium in a row, I mean, I take it. It's amazing to be up there.
Yeah, it is. It's fantastic. Consistency wins championships, doesn't it? And you want to be at least getting consistently. Let's just pull up those standings there for a second, and I will mute the audio in the background so it's not too loud to annoy people, hopefully. It shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, and that's exactly the kind of thing you want, isn't it? At the end of the day, as you can see, you want to be futuristic. That probably will put you maybe ahead of Larby there. Well, no, you're close, 66 to 78 points. It might be. But you're getting your way up there. And that's the key, isn't it? Because we've still got plenty of rounds to go. And, well, obviously, trying to catch Alexander and Owen is something else. But, yeah.
Yeah, that might be a huge task even for me. So, but, I mean, I'm catching Labe Fasoli for the moment. So, I'm taking every round as it would be the first round of the championship. Just taking it easy. And remember that the championship is long. So...
Exactly. And you are the only driver that has finished the last 4 rounds, on a podium. So that's the key, isn't it? Because even the drivers that are above you, they've had DNFs or did not starts. And so that's where, if you can consistently do that for the rest of the season, you'd be surprised to be the person that could be very much holding up that trophy just by consistently being there. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for, but it's a long way to the top.
If you want to rock and roll from AC/DC, yeah. But yeah, consistency is key. Good on you, mate. That's futuristic. So finishing in P2, doing it for the Finn. It was a Scandinavian top 3 results again. So you guys just love these weather conditions, aren't you? Just add a bit of snow, and you'd be set. Add a bit of snow and ice.
Yeah, it would be amazing.
Thank you, mate. Good on you. So that's futuristic. And all right, and next driver we need to go chatting to, which will be Mr. Owen. You're the final one, my friend.
Thank you. Hello.
Yep, g'day. So Red Bull, not the best of days, but you still finished your car, got some crucial points. How was that race?
Yeah. I mean, I thought I'd switch off and start on the mediums at the start. Then about 8 laps in, got caught in an incident. I won't comment on it yet because I think I need to rewatch it, but I'm hoping they're not salty after the last race. I'm hoping that's not the reason that's happened. But obviously after the incident on that lap 8, was pretty much at the back and just pitted for hards and went to the end. Managed to get my tyres quite far and nearly got Travifa Sola, as they say it. Lavifa Sola, sorry, on the final lap. It was close. But yeah, I mean, he got some points. Obviously unlucky for Danny. He was just struggling. I think he needs to get off the controller and switch to wheel, but he just won't take the time to switch. But I guess I'm happy with P4. I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, get off the controller, but I mean, I finished the race the other day at P5 on a keyboard, so anything is possible, my friend. just bring the car home. But obviously, I'm not on the level of you guys here for Tier 2, which is also equivalent to Tier 1. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And you're still getting in there, still keeping yourself very competitive in the championship, and that's the main thing. Because you can't have every day, not every race is going to go your way. But there's plenty of races that will go your way. The next track coming up, not quite sure what the next track is. I don't have that up in the standings, but what do you guys think that is? Monza. Yeah, but remember your last race was a winner in Spa, so you got that one. And then Monza's another one that the drivers want to get. How do you think you're going to go around there?
I mean, Monza's pretty good for me, but I think it's just when it comes to close race around there, it can be quite close. And we'll just have to wait and see what happens and try and do something different to everyone else.
Excellent. Well, that's the race I actually come P5 in, so we'll see if it works out for you. Thank you very much there, Owen. So yeah, I did this. Strixie said he was going to be commentating with me, but he couldn't do it. And that's all right, guys. I mean, sorry if I'm a little bit not as excited and crazy that I usually try to be, because I'd like to rebound off another commentator while I'm trying to direct the show and all that jazz. But you do what you can do the best you can do, because 2S put a lot of the performance in. All the drivers put the work in, and all the production team, all the stewarding and everything like that. Obviously, you guys have done 10 seasons without doing it right all the time. So thank you very much. I'm looking forward to more racing. So there's the Tier 1 coming up. So that'll be it for me. I need to rest my voice a little bit. And we'll be back again, obviously. Might quite you guys. You can check the Discord out, actually find out when the Tier 1 is. Unless you let us know really quick there, Owen, when the Tier 1 is.
Saturday, I think.
Saturday. Somewhere along the line. And the Twitch chat. Thank you very much, everybody, for the Twitch chat, for keeping me occupied as well. So I have other people to really rebound off. Thank you very much for the kind comments. Best commentator in the world. All that. Well, it just keeps me going, keeps me motivated. Appreciate that. More racing to go. So we're only about halfway through the season. Looking forward to the rest of it. So take care. Stay safe. Good night. And bye-bye.